Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. It's the day we had all been waiting for. Finally, today around 1:30 p.m., the India squad, main squad for the England tour will be announced. And we have our eyes peeled because when it comes to the captain, we have a bit of an idea that it's going to be Shubman Gill, but the real interest lies in the vice captaincy. Who's going to be the vice captain? You have a KL Rahul popping up, you have a Rishabh Pant popping up. There is discourse on social media that Rishabh Pant deserves the vice captaincy, even the test captaincy. I was just scrolling through social media. I was just on X, and the tagline "Rishabh Pant deserves test captaincy" has been trending since the morning. So that's what it is. Everyone is hooked on this announcement. Joining me today is Debashish Sen and Bharat Ramraj. We'll get to that. We'll get to the captaincy discussion later because we've also discussed it multiple times, and all of us have come to the conclusion every single time from the people that we have talked to, from our sources, that it is Shubman Gill who is the front runner at this point, going by what the selectors want, which is longevity in the captain. Now, uh, when we talk about, let's start with the younger names. Let's start. We have the India A squad. What, Devashish, who are the players that you're expecting to make a leap into the main squad? Except, apart from the obvious names like Sai Sudarshan and Yashashvi Jaiswal, are you seeing an Anshul Kamboj come in? Are you seeing Shardul Thakur come in? What do you think?
Gargi, obviously, for me, I would be interested in whether Mohammed Shami gets or not in the team selection, in the squad. Means obviously, with Jasprit Bumrah not being available for all the 5 test matches, obviously you need an experienced fast bowler in England. But with the will the selectors repose spread, which at this moment looks very unlikely. But Shami, even 80% fit Shami, I would love to see him in that squad in England. Yes, he had not played a test match since that WTC final at the Oval, but definitely if Shami, with his experience, someone who has picked 224 wickets, you need an experienced bowler in England. Yes, especially when you have you are sure that Jasprit Bumrah won't feature in all the 5 test matches. Another obviously interested one youngster that I would be interested in is to watch Shai Sudarshan. Obviously, a lot has been spoken about Shai Sudarshan in the lead up to the team selection. I definitely would love to see him getting into that test squad, and hopefully he does well in that England Lions game, the second unofficial test match, and from there on the test squad. And obviously he's been touted as the number 3. And another player who I would be interested upon, yes, he is not a junior on Karun Nair, means someone who has scored loads and loads of runs. You need to have someone, means especially with your big guns missing the likes of Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. You need someone who has you need someone who has scored runs. And obviously there is a thought that to bring in anyone from Chiteshwar Pujara or Rahane, but I don't see that happening. So for me, these are the 3 very interesting things. Obviously, you have spoken about who is will going to be the captain or the vice captain, but for me, these 3 names, whether Shami keeps his place in the test squad, and whether Karun Nair and Sai Sudarshan gets in that test squad.
But Devashish has brought up an interesting point when we talk about Mohammed Shami because he did make a comeback to red ball cricket last year, but since November he has not played any test cricket. And when we talk about the selectors, they are not going by IPL form to select a Mohammed Shami, which is something we had been reporting on Rev Sports as well. And IPL, yes, he's bowling 4 overs, but at the same time, those 4 overs are also bifurcated into two. He gets more than enough rest between those 2 overs that he has to bowl subsequently. But right now, the main concern when it comes to Mohammad Shami is whether or not his body can take the load, whether or not he can bowl 18 overs on a trot, and that is something that is putting Mohammad Shami's selection in doubt. The other thing that could happen is the fact, from what I have heard from my sources, is that Shami might be referred to the NCA, and once they have those reports, he can be added into the squad later. But still, Mohammad Shami's selection remains in doubt. But Bharat, again, Debashish also said this, and this is a valid point that with just Jasprit Bumrah not being there, are you lacking serious experience in the bowling department, especially in the pace attack?
Yeah, that is a good point to raise. But I would look beyond just whether he can take the workload or not. I have told it on WhatsApp. I told it on many live shows. I've told it on Twitter and explained it as well on X. How he seems to have lost a little bit of nip in his bowling. I think that is what is not helping him in this IPL because his greatest strength. What's his greatest strength? Yes, I have the photos of it. I don't know whether I can show it here, but see, his greatest strength. What was his greatest strength? He used to hold the seam very straight, very straight. The ball used to come straight. Yeah, a little bit of conventional swing. Then it would pitch and move off the deck late. So that late movement off the deck was really troubling a lot of batters. And what has happened is since he's returned, he's not getting that kind of nip off the deck. That is where I think in the IPL is kind of struggled because with the new ball, you expect him to get that nip. Even on a flat deck, you expect him to get that nip because he has that kind of what can I say? He has that kind of seam presentation. It's such a good seam presentation that it's come very very straight, and then it pitches and moves off the deck. So I think that is where his real problem is. So if the Indian selectors have to really get him into the squad, then this is in an imaginary scenario. What I would do is I'm just putting myself in the shoes of selectors just for 1 minute. That I will just see how it goes in the nets. Give him the ball, maybe ask him to bowl 8 or 10 hours, six, not 10 hours spell. Obviously, it's a fast ball, a 6 hour spell, 7 hour spell to see whether he's getting that little bit of nip of the pitch. If he's getting it, then I won't really worry about whether he can bowl 16 or 18 overs. See, in a five man attack, you still have some bowler who do the role of a workhorse. It could be someone like Akash Deep, it could be some spinner like Jadeja who could go and ball a lot of overs. So, in my opinion, that's not a huge thing. Even if Shami balls short bursts of 3 4 overs, it's absolutely fine. But my major worry, at least for me, is the one that seems to have lost a little bit of nip. You can see it even on Star Sports. They showed that stat in the last this year is getting less sea movement compared to 2023 and the 2022 couple of previous seasons. That's an indicator. I don't know whether the selectors are looking into it. That is for them to judge. But that is my biggest worry of Mohammad Shami. As soon as he gets that little bit of nip, I would have definitely taken him to England.
All right. So, Shami, it remains a debated topic here. But since we're on the topic of experience, what we have heard so far is also the fact that you're not going to see an Ajinkya Rahane and a Chiteshwar Pujara in that team. Selectors do not want to look back. Selectors want to look ahead in the future, which is why Bumrah is also not being considered as the captain. They want longevity. They want players who will, last the entire WTC cycle. But Debashish, do you think at this point, with no Virat Kohli, with no Rohit Sharma, you needed experience in that batting lineup, especially in the top order?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where KL Rahul's role will be very, very important. And so obviously, given his experience, given the hundreds he scored in England, he has toured multiple tours, he's been part of multiple tours to England. So you need that experience of KL Rahul. Yes, Shubman Gill has not done well in China countries except for that 91 he scored in Brisbane during that last VGT. So I definitely would love to see KL Rahul taking on more responsibility. And yes, obviously, if you could talk about experience, obviously, someone like a Rishabh Pant, he needs to come out. Means yes, we know what he can do with the bat, but he needs to check his flashy shots, which has become as his downfall in the recent series in against Australia. Yes, and I was just going through his stats. He has as many as 7 or 8 scores in 90s. So that itself shows that had he shown a little bit of more patience, he could have converted those 90s into hundreds. And yes, but still, obviously, and someone like a Shubman Gill, he has a big role to play. Yashasvi Jaiswal, it will be a huge test for him. Remember, with Rohit and Virat not there, the onus will be on the entire batting group. It's not about an individual. If you want to do well against England, it has to be a collective effort from all the batters. It's not about a Yashasvi Jaiswal or a Shubman Gill or a KL Rahul to score runs. It is the entire batting unit that needs to fire. And remember, and remember, if they do so, then I don't have any doubts that we go to see something really really good in that series against England.
Bharat, we spoke about this before, and if we look at the top five, we have somewhat of an idea of what the batting lineup is going to look like. You've got a KL Rahul and a Yashasvi Jaiswal most likely opening. You've got Sai Sudarshan at number three, Shubman Gill, and then Rishabh Pant. Do you see a lack of experience in that lineup, and what happens if suppose there is a collapse or something like that? How does one negate that?
Yeah, obviously there is lack of experience. There's lack of experience of someone going out there and succeeding. I know KL Rahul had one good tour, reasonably good tour in 2021. But you need that kind of muscle memory, a built-in muscle memory where you have succeeded before. That really helps you. That is where I think the Indian team lacks. The current Indian team would lack. Nitish Reddy, yes, he has shown some promise in Australia, but still he has not played in England. The likes of someone like Shubman Gill has struggled against the nip packer in England. That is something he has to sort out. KL Wallace, as I noted, he had one good series in England in 2021, but again, his test average is somewhere around 33, so it's not performed up to expectations, at least not consistently, though he has some game-breaking knocks away from Asia. Even if you look at others, Sai Sudarshan might have great temperament. I myself have talked about it, but again, he's not played in England. So all these are inexperienced players. Rishabh Pant, yes, he has a couple of tours, so he will be the main man now. He will be the senior man in that Indian team. That is how time flies. But on an overall basis, it's going to be difficult. Yes, the pitches could be on the flatter side. England have been preparing mostly flat pitches. We have seen it even in the one-off test against Zimbabwe. But in England, there could be rain around suddenly on 28th or 21st. There could be rain around, and suddenly with rain around, there would be moisture, and the ball could start moving around a little bit off the seam. That is when experience comes into play. Unfortunately, India don't have it this time, or at least not much of experience. So they have to somehow manage it. Maybe if they get a good performance, maybe if India win the toss in the first test, bowl first, their bowlers do the damage, then that could really boost the confidence of the batting lineup, and some of the youngsters might come good. So India need a little bit of luck going their way this time around, maybe with the toss. But I'll just add a point on Shami as well. I don't know whether I can show it. See how straight the seam is. This was previously Shami used to bowl. It was very very straight the seam. But then now I will show another video where a seam is slightly pointing with an angle. Again,
No, Bharat. Little bit you hold it.
Bharat,
The ball is
I'll
not
tell
visible.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's coming at an angle. What I really wanted to show
one
was
second, Bharat.
it's
To
coming at an
explain this
angle
better,
now.
send the picture to me. I will pop it on the screen. Send it to me on WhatsApp.
Okay, you just continue
Yeah,
with
yeah.
your questions. I will send it.
Uh, since we're on bowling, let's take this. Without Anderson, how dangerous is the bowling lineup? I mean, you wouldn't want to underestimate this lineup. I know that it's not the greatest England team that you have seen, but at the same time, it will be dangerous.
On this, at least I'll add a point on it. Sorry for getting into what you were saying. Because they have some good bowlers coming through. That Joe Tong is quite fast and is quite tall, get some bounce. This Bryden Cars is returning from an injury. So, and Sam Cook may not be in Anderson's class, but still in county cricket is proved his worth. Yes, they will definitely miss James Anderson because he has been a thorn in India's flesh, especially. Stuart Broad might be a thorn in Australia's flesh at home, but it was Anderson who was a thorn in India's flesh at home and away. So they will miss him, but they have a group of young bowlers like Joe Tong and Bryden Cars coming through. I don't know how many tests Geoffrey Archer will play, maybe only one test, but these two bowlers are quite good. And Sam Cook, I think, can be useful in English conditions alongside Chris Wokes.
You didn't send me the picture, Bharat. But anyway, I think you're done with that point. But that's all right. Naman Suri is joining us from Mumbai. He's outside of the Wankhede Stadium. He'll be giving us all the updates on whether or not Ajit Agarkar has arrived. The officials or the selectors have arrived. Naman, give us all the updates. What's going on there?
Hi, Gargi. So I am right in front of the gate one of one today, and the selectors, the management, Ajit Agarkar have come in already. They came in around 11:30ish. No one actually, even the guards didn't know when he entered or from where he entered. Everyone was clueless, and I spoke around with people, and they said that I think they are discussing inside what I think what who all players are going to be, because if I remember correctly, during the Champions Trophy, when the press conference timing was there, at that time in point in time, they were discussing all the players who are to be selected. But this time they have come in early. The meeting is around 1:30 ish. The press conference, the time they will announce the players. But this time they have come in early. They are discussing the players already in the BCCI office, and we will be hearing from them very soon, hopefully.
All right, so that's the update. I have the picture that Bharat had sent, and where did it go? Here we have it. I will play it on our screen. Give me a second. There we go.
Yeah, this is the one that is coming at an angle. That's the seam position that currently Shami has. So that maybe because he's not having the same energy levels in his run up or load up, whatever it is, the moment is early. That is why it is coming at an angle, and it's a little bit floaty. And the other one has late moment on it because the seam is very straight. If you can show the other photo.
The other one.
Yeah, yeah. This one is coming at an angle. This is the same
One
position
second.
in
I'm
2020.
just getting that. Going all out for Bharat here. There we go.
Yeah, see how straight it is. The same position is so straight. This is the trademark Mohammed Shami that we used to think this is from 2023. I think yes, 2023. That is because it's holding it so straight, so straight. It's a straight seam grip, and that is why you will see the straight seam, little bit of conventional swing, it will pitch, and then late movement of the deck. The movement is very much late. That is, I think, Shami's greatest strength. Unfortunately, at least at present in this IPL 2025 IPL, that seam position is coming at an angle, slight angle. That is why the movement is early. That's all I wanted to say.
All right, all right. Naman, whenever you feel like you have to leave and get some visuals or whatever, feel free to do that. Is it okay? All right. No
Yeah,
rain. Okay.
yeah. No, no, it's about to, I believe, because the wind is very strong right now, and the roads are already wet. It seems like it has been raining throughout, and the clouds are above me, so I think it's going to rain anytime soon now.
Go ahead, go ahead. Thankfully, a press conference can't be washed out. Otherwise, we would have been in real trouble. Um, okay. Arvind Krishnamurthy is saying, how crucial is Yashasvi Jaiswal? Debashish, very good question, because Yashasvi Jaiswal can be the make or break. If he gets us those aggressive starts, then it'll be crucial for Team India. Otherwise, if he loses his wicket early, does not put a price on his wicket, then it becomes increasingly difficult for them to score good runs in England conditions.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You hit the head nail on the head. Yes, he had a great start to his Test career, scoring that 100 against West Indies in Dominica. But ever since, obviously, that Australia series, except for that innings, if I'm not mistaken, that no innings in Melbourne against Australia, he has not fired in that series against Australia in the recently concluded BGT. So yes, the onus will be on Yashasvi Jaiswal. To give the start India needed. It's not a flashy start. It's not a white ball cricket, but all he needs to do is to spend time in the middle. As an opener, you need to see off the new ball, and that is his role. Primarily, his role will be to see off the new ball along with KL Rahul. And if they can do it, this England attack, yes, with due respect to all the bowlers that they have, the fast bowlers I'm talking about, I think initially, if you look at England conditions, I think it does seem and swing at the start, the first session. But if you go through that first session, and then you are very much in for a big score. And remember, scoring a big first inning score will be paramount in inflicting the initiative in the series. Yes, the conditions and leads will be heavily tilted in favor of the fast bowlers, the swing bowlers. So I think Yashasvi Jaiswal will have to. It's a real test as far as this upcoming series in England is concerned.
Naman, what about your thoughts? Ahan Chitti is asking press conference live on which platform? I'm not
Nowhere,
sure either. Nowhere.
nowhere.
You will
No,
just get
Star
the
Sports.
news.
Sorry. Hotstar is going to show it live.
Yeah.
I was
Are you
thinking of
sure?
the
Because
Twitter platform.
but isn't Sony the broadcaster for the test series, or is it Star
But
only?
is it is Star, no? Because everything that is within BCCI is for Star.
Oh, okay.
Ahan,
Sony, they have the
best
rights for the
option.
series in England.
Ahan, best option is stick with us. We will give you everything. We'll give you the
Definitely.
number.
Naman will be himself giving us the update.
Yes.
Yes, I will be here all day long.
He's the
Yes, you
legend.
are.
He's the Superman of ref sports. See,
No, no.
No, he's definitely the Mumbai.
whenever he's here, I remember one line of mine. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. So Naman is ubiquitous.
All right, all right. Lots of comments here. Let's discuss them for a while. Wow. Shailesh is saying make Hardik Pandya the Test cricket captain. How does that work, my friend? Okay. More question. More questions. More questions. Okay. Captain Kamal is saying Pant is the most deserving to lead the Test team. बट गिल तो अभी एक टेस्ट पहले ड्रॉप हुआ था, अब उसको कैप्टन बना रहे हो. अगर गिल पहले तीन टेस्ट फेल हुआ एज अ बैटर, देन आप कैप्टन को ड्रॉप करोगे क्या? RP17, the captain. Naman, this is one of the biggest debates that is happening throughout the cricketing fraternity. What are your thoughts on this?
See, there comes a time in every player's career that they have to step up, whether it is early in their career, whether it is late in career. MS Dhoni was someone who took up the reins for Indian Test cricket or Indian cricket as a whole at the time when Indian batting stalwarts were leaving the game. Be it Rahul Dravid, V.S. Lakshman, Saurav Ganguly, Sachin Tendulkar, all of those were in the phase of leaving the game itself, and the new generation was buzzing. They were buzzing to go on, and like Virat Kohli, Chiteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, all of these players. So that kind of is the story for someone like Shubman Gill as well. He has to start up fresh with a bunch of players who are budding to go and have the talent to. Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul probably is the best batter India has right now in Test cricket. Then there's Yashasvi Jaiswal. There's other batters as well who will come in handy. Shardul Thakur, who has been in splendid form for the domestic side, will be in there. So I don't think if Shubman Gill fails as a captain in England, I don't think they have any other option. Jasprit Bumrah is someone who will not last for more than test matches in a row. Or even in a 5-match series, he won't last more than 3 matches. So you cannot take risk of keep constantly switching between captains. One game Bumrah, one game Shubman Gill. That is something not gel with the players. Continuous change of tactics will happen, and that is not something they would want. KL Rahul, I believe, like I said, is one of the best batters right now for India in Test cricket, and you would want him to be free. He has had a turbulent career in Test format, has been up and down in the format. Just give him a role, be it the opener role or be it the number 4 position. Just give him the role and let him be free for the next 2 years, and he'll perform splendidly. So I think the only option for them right now is Shubman Gill. He has the experience, and the way he has been leading Gujarat Titans, the calmness, the demeanor he has shown on the field, I think that kind of tells you the story that he has the ability to lead a side. Big task in hand, a very big task. First assignment, England tour. CK Naidu did it. I believe I mean, I don't think any other captain went on as for their first assignment to England, but CK Naidu did it. There were Ajit Wadekar who did it in West Indies and then successfully did it in England as well. So things happen, but you have to take up the call and stick with it. And I think Shuman Gill is something that they will like to stick with for at least this World Test Championship cycle.
All right, all right. Okay. Final few questions, final 5 minutes on the show actually. Devashish, the question I'd like to ask you is, since we're hearing that there's not going to be an Ajinkya Rahane and a Chiteshwar Pujara in the team. Is this the end for them?
It has to be. It has to be. Obviously, if they are not picked for such an important series against England, then obviously in home conditions you need to repose your faith on the youngsters. Someone like a Sai Sudarshan or other players in the fringe. But obviously, this has to be the series. If they are to be slotted in, it is this series. If they are not, which is very unlikely, I think that might very well be the signs of doors closing on them, as far as I am concerned. And obviously the selectors are fair also to look ahead. As Bharat has also said rightly, you need to look ahead. I mean, until and unless you give opportunities to youngsters and throw them and see how they cope up with the challenges.
All right, all right. Bharat, what do you think? Is this the end for, even if Shami doesn't make it? Is this the end for an Ajinkya Rahane Pujara and a Mohammed Shami?
See, with Rahane, at least at some point, India had to move forward with great respect to his captaincy skills, with how he played in England in 2014. He has been on his batting has been on a gradual decline over a period of time since 2020. Over 3 years, over his last 3 years in Test cricket, averaged only 25 with the bat. In England, his average has gone down to 28. So numbers don't really stack up. His test average, unfortunately, from as high as 51 to 47, it went dropped down to 38. So somewhere they had to move forward. Same with somewhere with Pujara as well. Over a period of time, last couple of years, it didn't really go well for him. And at that time, I think India were right. So what has basically happened is maybe the Indian selectors thought that Virat Kohli will continue for one more Test series or on those lines at least for the England tour. But he and Rohit Sharma also going at almost the same time has left like a big void in the Indian lineup when it comes to experience. But sometimes it can't really everything can't really go according to plans, and the India just have to move forward, I guess, with those two players. And just give the youngsters a long rope. Yes, these youngsters will fail. I'm telling you here that a couple of youngsters will fail in alien climbs like in England, but don't get disappointed with it. Give them a long rope, give them a long run. At least a few of them will come good at some point of time. As far as Shami is concerned, I already noted that for me, I'm not very keen on him bowling say 6 over 7 over spells, because I think a workhorse can do that job. Someone who can go and bowl 20 overs, but in my humble opinion, if he's able to get that little bit of nip back, then I would have taken him. But it looks like the selectors have kind of already decided, from whatever I've heard, that they're unlikely to pick him.
Naman, finally, any updates from outside of the Wankhede, or nothing has changed yet?
As of now, nothing yet. Everyone is inside. Ajit Agarkar and the other selectors and the management as well. Everyone is inside. I have Prakash inside, having keeping an eye on the situation. If anything comes up, he will be telling me when I'm in the live. So yeah, right now there's no update. Everyone is still inside. 1:30, the press conference begins, and the updates will start flowing at that point in time.
All right. Well, on that note, we can take your leave. We'll be back at 1 p.m. So don't forget to join us then. We will have an entire 2 hour show. Boria Mujumdar will also be joining us. And many more. Shubayan will join us. Trisha will join us. Shamik will join us. So we'll have a full panel. Don't forget to join us at 1 p.m. We'll be back with more updates. Naman is reporting from outside of the Wankhede. He'll give you live coverage as well. So thank you. And don't forget to join back.